Hello Sagittarius, Elsie here to do a read for you, and just wanted to throw some cards for you, get some energy on the table before next week comes around. Thank you so much for being here, and I am here to do a reading for you, a 9-card draw for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs, all of those signs, not just the Sun signs. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you about the extended and how to get in on a private reading sale that I have on until the 4th. We will talk about that at the end of the reading. We'll talk about extendeds as well. Gosh, I'm with the ums today. My brain's not firing fast enough. All right, let's talk about it. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What's coming up for Sag, please? We have the Hanged One. All right. Ooh, the tarot is bringing it today. The Tower is here. We've got the Hanged One. All of these readings I've been doing today are very interesting, keeping me intrigued for sure. And then we have the High Priestess. Feels like while you are in the pause, my friend, trying to get perspective on something, it's like you are listening to intuition. Maybe you're trying to learn something about yourself inwardly. I feel like this is a time for you, Sagittarius, where you're feeling very close to the veil. And that makes sense, though, because Uranus is about to move into Gemini. And I feel like that's going to sort of heighten your instinct, right? Because when Uranus moves into Gemini, it's like all about bright ideas and changing my mind and coming up with new things. And so I feel like you are feeling very close to the other side, I would say. You're probably feeling that. It feels like this Uranus transit that's moving into Gemini is probably going to affect you in a way that's going to change your gifts or give you a heightened sense of intuition. Because we've got Pisces on both sides of the Tower. So I want to say that it feels like you know that a shift is coming, or that your gifts or your perception, you see what I mean? Like it's psychic perception. And so it feels like something is about to shift in your psychic perception here. It's like maybe you don't know. Maybe you know what you think you know, but you're like, man, no, that's not it. I think you're on point. I think your intuition is going to be confirming something. We've got the 7 of Swords. It's concealed from you, friend, but it's making you pause. There's something here making you pause that's concealed from you. You see, you can't see it, but you can feel it. You have a perception of it. Tell me more about Sag. We've got the Empress. Well, there we go. You are on point, friend. Yeah, it looks like you are, the Empress is the Queen of Cups, right? Who is quite empathic, a little bit psychic. Also Sagittarius, right? Which is the Queen of Wands, which is also a little bit psychic energy. And let's find out more here. We've got the Death card. All right. I think you know some sort of transformation is coming. You may have already gone through an ending of some sort, but I think that this particular ending has transformed how you trust your intuition. We've got the King of Wands. We've got the Ace of Swords. You are getting clarity. Yeah, that's exactly what this feels like here. I will read more as soon as I get them all down. We've got the 7 of Cups. The Ace of Swords is right here at the Death card to say no more confusion, no more illusion, and you are getting some clarity that's going to cut through the 7 of Cups energy. Let me put down 2 cards so we can see what's going on underneath the surface, and then let's get to this read here. We've got the 5 of Pentacles, and we've got the World card. Yep. So, Sag, I think what's going on here is pretty clear to me. Anyway, let me explain. I think what's going on here, Sag, is that you are experiencing or will experience, because I believe it's the 26th when Uranus crosses the line from Taurus into Gemini. And I feel like it's probably going to be all of next week and probably going on further from there. that you are having a heightened sense of perception. Psychic perception, intuitive perception, whatever you want to call it, there is something that is being concealed from you, but I think you are vibrating. I think that you're like, there's something on your mind. You're like, I feel like this is going to happen, or I feel like that person's going to call, or maybe you're thinking about someone and all of a sudden you get a text from them, those kinds of things. So I feel like this death card is telling me that it's the end of confusion, but also the beginning of transformation. Because when death shows up, things only end for one reason, and that's so something else can begin, because something else is ready to begin. So I feel as though a confusion will be made clear about somebody who is in their fire energy. And when I say in their fire energy, they could definitely be an Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo, but that's not what I'm talking about, because an energy reader as I am, I see this as an energy. So whatever sign they're in the energy of pursuit, because there's nothing, like zero things that will stop the King of Wands from getting what they want. This is somebody who has a lot of wisdom. They've grown up from the Knight of Wands. They're no longer running after things. They're no longer offering instability. They're not here for a good time, not a long time. This person is grown up, is an adult, runs a kingdom. This is a person who knows what they want and will go get what they want. They will pursue it, but they won't put the whole kingdom at risk in order to get it. Ooh, let's talk about this Tower. Sag, you always bring me this kind of energy. Tell me about the Tower. Your readings for me are like reading a good book. What is going on? Tell me about the Tower. We've got the Star. Sorry, gotta make sure that we don't offend anybody with a woman's body, right? So I feel like this Tower, when everything shifts, it's going to leave you feeling, one, highly intuitive or psychic, because again, star energy, Aquarius, and it's also gonna make you be clear about something. It is something that is a healing tower. This is not one that you should be afraid of. This shift isn't one that you should be afraid of. I think this is the one that brings balance. It brings clarity about emotions. It brings clarity about steady, sturdy things. It turns things that were wobbly into something that is sturdy. So I feel like it's more of a shift than an implode. I feel like it's something that is going to catch you off guard, though. Like I said, like you're thinking about someone and all of a sudden you get a text from them or a phone call, or you pick up a piece of mail and it's from that person. We've got the Strength card here. And we've got Temperance. Through this whole reading here, I'm feeling like there is somebody here who you've closed a chapter with. It feels like with the Five of Pentacles that this whole thing fell into lack. And so I closed the chapter. I wrapped it up. That was the only way that I could achieve what I needed to achieve. And I think what you needed to achieve was to be with yourself in your own presence in order to I think meditate, practice your spiritual self. So something did come to an end, whether you closed it or they did. I don't care. I think that the universe pulled somebody out of your path, to be honest. But it feels like this is someone who you haven't spoke with in a long time. And I feel like this person's about to connect with you. You think about them, they show up. This is the way it's going to be from now and again, so please be careful what you think. The thing that is on your mind the most, I want to say, Sagittarius, is the thing that will show up. So please, no negative talk about yourself. I feel like you are at this heightened energy, this heightened psychic or intuitive energy here, and it's really important that you keep your thoughts in check. And I'm not saying don't ever go outside the lines, but for the primary thought patterns, if you find something negative seeping in, then you're like, nope, don't have time for you, and then hum a tune. You can't think and hum at the same time. So let's talk about the Seven of Swords. So I do feel that, look, you might be looking at this reading through a lens of romance, as a lot of people do. But for those of you who aren't, this feels like it's a friend from long ago, or a family member you haven't talked to in a long time. It's like a long lost person. It feels like somebody who is from a time long ago. And I feel as though something here is being concealed from you. Can you please tell us what that is for Sag? We've got the King of Pentacles. We've got the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Someone is no longer tangled in the mind. Someone no longer feels as though their hands are tied. It feels like someone here has grown up and is about doing the right thing. I need to settle this. I need to solidify it. It's time for me to take, somebody wants to, like the King of Pentacles is like the most responsible of all of the kings. And it feels like someone wants to take responsibility for something. Look, this could be a father that you haven't spoken to in a long time, or a mother. It could be a member of the family. We have the King of Swords. So I feel like Sagittarius, that it feels as though somebody has cut themselves out of this place where they were stuck in the mind, a prisoner of their own mind. They're able to get out now. It feels like they're able to get out of their mind and speak. I feel like this person has some truth to tell you, some honesty to tell you. But I also feel like this person has really grown since you spoke with them last. This person is truthful. They are honest. They're about to tell you that they've gone over the details because they could not get the situation off their mind or get you off their mind. And this person now wants to make something right. The King of Pentacles is solid, sturdy, stable, somebody who's very loyal. This person, I think, wants to come forward and tell you that they really are still very loyal to your friendship or your loveship or something like that. The King of Swords is somebody who has integrity in the upright. They have integrity, and this person is being accountable for their words, accountable for their actions, accountable for the way they handled themselves in a situation while they were stuck in their head. So it feels like they were in a place in their life where they couldn't make a decision. Maybe there was too much chaos going on around them. The Eight of Swords is now in the reverse, but was in the upright before. Tell me about the Death card. What is changing here? It feels like it's the end of some sort of overwhelm or confusion or illusion. Illusion meaning this person never wants to talk to you. This person really doesn't care about you anymore. I think that's the illusion. But I also feel it's the end of some sort of confusion or overwhelm. You may have gone through an emotionally overwhelming time. Look at this. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. So transformation is going to cause change. Somebody here is transformed. When we say transformed, it's because the old person that they were is dead. That person's done. They are not that person that you knew back there. And so I feel like this person has had some sort of major transformation. And now the Wheel of Fortune is calling them to their destiny, saying, look, it's time to expand things. It's time for things to change. Tell me more. I feel like we're going to see Libra here. I feel like in some respect, we're going to see Libra. We've got the Chariot energy here. Somebody's getting in their vehicle here. And it feels like now that they are far more disciplined with their emotional state, that it's time for them to follow the... It's time for them to follow the Wheel of Fortune, is what it feels like. This is somebody who I do feel you were in a partnership with. And partnership is not cups, it's not love. This is someone you either worked with or someone who taught you something, someone who was your mentor. It could be someone who was... it feels like someone that was very cooperative and collaborative. This person may have been your boss or your supervisor or somebody that you worked with. It feels like this is a person that was in your network. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. You're about to get some clarity, friend. And I think that while they have transformed, I don't believe that they're the same person they were back there, because they've become responsible for their words and for their action. And now they're living in truth in their life period. They're going to see that you have changed. I feel like you probably are getting this feeling of, why am I thinking about them? Why am I thinking about them right now? I haven't seen that person in dog's age. Why am I thinking about them? I think that you're living at this time in heightened perception because Uranus is traveling through to Gemini. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. We've got the Lovers. We've got the King of Cups. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. I want to say that the Ace of Swords is giving me truth, but it's also giving me clarity or some sort of an epiphany. And with the Lovers here, it feels like somebody is making a choice to come forward who is now emotionally aware, somebody who is not avoidant anymore. It feels like this person was avoiding you or avoiding the situation until they had to go through their own dark night of the soul. And now they are listening to the universe that's saying, look, the destiny is you got to get on the horse and go. You have to discipline yourself or balance things out. You have to make something right. So the Ace of Pentacles is here. And I do believe that somebody here is showing up with a gift or showing up with this in this energy of, I really want to heal this, or can we plant a seed? It feels like, this is somebody who is not showing emotion on the surface, but they are coming in a very practical sense. They're not coming in overly emotional, wanting you back, and all those dramatic things that you hear. That's not what this feels like. It feels very practical. It feels like someone owning up to their shit is what it feels like. I feel as though you're coming to a place where there is one thing in your life or one situation. I'm just going to say out loud, think of a situation that if you were on your deathbed that you would have regret about. I think that's what we're talking about. You are about to get some sort of wild clarity from someone that you just thought, you know what, if that person would just own up to their shit, we could be talking right now. I think that's what's going on here, because it feels like something here wrapped up, closed the door, closed, and it's done. And when we did, it was so far in the crapper here. It was so far departed, or it's so far in lack that there was no way of saving it at the time. I think you did what you could, Sag, but I feel like this person had to grow up in their own time, as we all do. This person had to come to the realization that they had to really own their crap, and that the King of Swords is somebody who, when they speak, they transform things. This person had to become very aware that words matter, and that when they use words, they have to use truth and facts. They can't just be in character assassination, bringing up last year. And this person has really learned the value of loyalty and of being very clear with their thoughts before they come forward. I think that's what's being concealed from you. I think that's what the Seven of Swords is saying. And I also feel like this person's going to be in shock when they see how much you've grown. Because I think that when they left, maybe it broke your heart or made you feel bad. And I don't think you need them right now. I don't know who this is, but I don't think you need them, because you're the Empress. You really don't need it. You might want it, but you really don't need it. Bottom of the deck. I can't even. Gemini. Right? It feels like somebody is showing up that you're not aware of, that is showing up. We are going to go into the extended, and we're going to talk about that. For those of you who are not coming into the extended, I feel like it could be somebody who is a fixed sign, a Taurus, a Scorpio, an Aquarius, or a Leo, because the Wheel of Fortune is here. It could be another Sagittarius, could be a Cancer. Gemini is here as well, possibly a Pisces. But we're going to go into, an Aquarius. We're going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, please look at the pinned comment that is at the top of all the comments. Click on Read More, and you will see a couple of links. The first link is for the membership area. That's where you need to go if you want to see all the extendeds for all of the signs. The next one is for Hypsee. I do have a sale on right now. I only put a sale on for my pre-recorded readings about once a quarter, about every 3 or 4 months. And that is that time now. And it's been on since the 20th of April, and it will go to May 4th. So please take the link to Hypsee. You can take a look at all my packages and my pricing to decide if you're even interested. And also, I do live readings. So if you're interested in connecting to me live, please look over my schedule and my availability. You'll see the times that I'm available at this time. And if you are interested, you will need to pre-book that. And when you do, you will get between 5 and 75% off a live read. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for being here and watching, Sag. Let's get to the extended and find out what's going on here. Take care. Love you guys. I'm out, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care. Bye-bye.